maybe everyone in a bit confusion here. We talked about the page allocation, how pages will be tracked down using the PFS. We talked about the extents, different types of extents, mixed and what is the other one, guys?
Uniform.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, different, uniform and then mixed. And how these uniform and mixed will be spread using the two different mappings. What are the different mappings? GAM and SGAM, global allocation mapping, and SGAM, shared global allocation mapping. This is how it happens in extent level and page level PFS, SGAM and in GAM and SGAM, and in object level IMAP, index allocation mapping. This is how it happens in the and everything. That is the reason why on the day I told primary data file is very important in every database. You remember that? You remember that, guys? Primary data file is holding every information. On the day I told only metadata. What is that metadata? This metadata. GAM, SGAM, PFS, and then IMAPs, everything will be stored in the primary data file. So in each and every database, this particular, where is it, primary database, primary data file? This particular primary data file is very, very important. That is the reason why when I attach and detach this database, let me do it, and I think you remember, you guys, I attach this database, detach this, and let me take a backup. One second, guys. DCM allocation bitmaps, data structures, sorry. So I'll go through again once, maybe everyone in a bit confusion here. We talked about the page allocation, how pages, will be tracked down using the PFS. We talked about the extents, different types of extents, mixed and what is the other one, guys?
Uniform.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, different, uniform and then mixed. And how these uniform and mixed will be spread using the two different mappings. What are the different mappings? GAM and SGAM, global allocation mapping, and SGAM, shared global allocation mapping. This is how it happens in extent level and page level PFS, SGAM and in GAM and SGAM, and in object level IMAP, index allocation mapping. This is how it happens in the and everything. That is the reason why on the day I told primary data file is very important in every database. You remember that? You remember that, guys? Primary data file is holding every information. On the day I told only metadata. What is that metadata? This metadata. GAM, SGAM, PFS, and then IMAPs, everything will be stored in the primary data file. So in each and every database, this particular, where is it, primary database, primary data file? This particular primary data file is very, very important. That is the reason why when I attach and detach this database, let me do it, and I think you remember, you guys, I attach this database, detach this, and let me take a backup. One second, guys. I'm taking a backup here. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Vimal, yeah.
Are you? Yeah. Okay. I'm just detaching my database. Now I'm trying to attach the same database here. See, I am telling SQL Server. Are you able to see my screen? I think hopefully. I am telling SQL Server to attach a database related to this particular test.mdf file. What this test.mdf file will be having? This test.mdf file will be having all these allocation units, bit mapping, and and data structures of BCM and data structures. Everything will be stored in this primary data file. This is very, very important. When I select this primary data file, SQL Server will automatically identifies what LDF file it is having. If I have another secondary data file, it will also shows here. By reading this MDF file, SQL Server will understand it is having what kind of information in this database which I am going to attach. So I got my database back. That is the reason why primary data file is very important. And as I told you in the last class, Microsoft recommends you to keep this primary data file away from data loading. But I have never seen people are not loading data into the primary data file. Generally, we used to load data into primary data files also. But what Microsoft recommends, do not store data into this particular MDF file. How can I store data into other MDF files, guys?
Yes, through the user-defined file group, yeah, we can create the MDF file.
Yeah, after creating what we need to do?
No, okay, so we have to allocate, when we are creating the objects, that MDF.
No, you need to make that particular, I'll show you. Suppose, properties. Sadish, you asked one question. I'll tell you, I am some question. Let me show this one to Ajay and everyone. In files, I create another data file. I'm not going to use my primary data file to the database. I'm not going to use it. Don't confuse, this is primary file group. And this is primary data file. Okay, don't get confused with this. And I'm making it as user defined. Some Pavan I created. If you see this one, default, I am making this default. Okay, which means whatever data loading into the database will go to first Pavan, not to the primary data file group. No need to mention name Ajay while creating. If you want to exclusively mention for each and every object, it's very difficult. You can mention for the each and every object, but it's very difficult to tell to application users, please put this file group for every object. You cannot say in that way. For that purpose, you can make this file group as primary.
Okay, yeah.
By default, primary file group will be default. So whenever you are creating this Pavan as per default, it will become file group become default, and whatever data will be loading, it comes to these data files, whatever going to store in this Pavan.
Yeah, okay, Pavan, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, I forgot to give file name here. And you will be having another question, if I am not wrong. How come this will be, so I am saying simple default, how can it will internally, how it goes to that particular data file? There will be an algorithm, I think I saved somewhere this algorithm. One second, guys. Internally, SQL Server is, yes, it is here. SQL Server uses a proportional fill algorithm. The algorithm name is proportional fill algorithm. Using this proportional fill algorithm, SQL Server loads the data into data file. How much amount of data will be writing to this particular data file and this particular data file, suppose 1, 2, 3, 4 data files I have. Using this proportional fill algorithm, SQL Server will be writing the data into the data files. I am not sure internals of proportional fill algorithm, but somehow I am able to get the name of that algorithm, how it writes into the data files. And any questions till now? Please let me know. Please let me know, guys, please, if you have any questions. And Satish asked one question. If space is deallocation from GAM, if the data is deleted leading to space deallocation, leading to a GAM interval, no longer having any space allocated. I did not understand, Harish. I'm really sorry. Can you please unmute and ask questions if you don't mind?
Hi, Pawan. I just want to understand.
Yes.
You said each GAM is of 4 gigabits. Okay, and if I add
4 gigabytes in the sense of extents, number of extents.
Yeah, number of extents, correct. So and after that number of extents, there will be one more GAM getting created, and and there is a link between these two GAM, and that information will be stored in IAM, right?
No, GAM information, IAM will be having object-related information.
No, IAM can hold.
No, what I told earlier, IAM can hold extents, I told.
Okay.
1 second.
Look, usually what happens, IAM tracks around.
IAM tracks only objects.
Yeah, objects of 4GB.
IAM tracks object level, and GAM tracks extent level.
If I say IAM tracks approximately of around 4GB worth of space in a single file.
No, you got confused here. I got your question here. You got confused here. Let me tell you here. I talked about IAM. Each IAM is having capacity of 4 gigabytes. Not the GAM, one GAM.
Oh, okay.
Because this extent can be a mixed extent or uniform extent. You forget about the extent management in this picture. Satish, please wipe out everything related to the extents here.
Yeah.
This 4 GB is different and that 4 GB is different.
Okay.
This IAM tracks down extents, it tracks down the data of 4 GB. It can be a uniform or mixed. Our GAM and SGAM, when it will comes to the picture, SGAM will come into the picture at the time of mixed. So ideally speaking, IAM has to coordinate with GAM and also SGAM.
Okay.
Extent doesn't mean only one allocation unit, one allocation mapping. These extent can have in this IAM1, these extents can have information of, this extent could have used the allocation mapping of GAM or SGAM, which means it might be having uniform or mixed. Ideally, IAM has to coordinate with GAM and SGAM. That's what I want to explain.
My question is that let me explain what I understood. Suppose an IAM, like index allocation map, it tracks around 4 GB worth of data or space, right? It has a capability to track the maximum 4 GB of data where it is there, right? Suppose there is one in a single file, that's called GAM, right?
Single
yeah,
file.
the 4 GB boundary. If I set if I visually see a block having 4 GB and I'll call it the GAM, okay, and
Okay.
that 4 GB boundary data can be tracked by maximum by the IAM, right? And
Okay, object level. Object level.
So if there is one more object created, or one more, having additional 4 GB, okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
IAM or object?
Object.
Okay.
Okay. Then since it went beyond 4 GB, there will be one more IAM created.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
IAM2
will be created.
But but that IAM is only to the particular object, not for the shared across the objects.
Correct. So I'll be having 2 IAMs then. Okay.
Yeah.
So
we take this example, Satish. Table 1 is having 1 IAM. Table 1 is having, table 1 and 1 IAM here, 4 GB here and 4 GB here. Suppose think in this way. And IAM2 is having another object, is having IAM2, this 4 GB and this 4 GB. Till that I understand your question.
If the table goes beyond 4 GB, suppose it becomes 6 GB table. So what will happen to the IAM?
Table goes beyond
4
the...
GB. It becomes 6 GB.
It will get allocated another IAM.
That's what. So it's going to create IAM. So
Yeah.
now my question is that, so when we suppose delete table or delete data from the GAM, 4 GB 4 GB of chunk, then the GAM will become empty. So what will happen to that IAM?
No, the GAM will be recording 0 or 1 whenever you get deleted the record.
Okay.
The record, it will so suppose one extent entirely gets deleted. What will happen? It will become. Let me show it to here. If suppose it become 0, full 0. GAM bit is full 0. GAM or SGAM, it will be going to the free uniform extent or mixed extent. It will be recording as 1. Suppose my GAM bit, my GAM bit have become free, which means it will be understanding by the bitmap of 1, which means a free. It will be automatically updating your GAM bit using the 1. Whenever it becomes, whenever you delete the data from a extent. Suppose you freed one uniform, one full uniform extent you freed by deleting it. So the GAM bit will be updated with the 1. And again, other question was, again this IAM will be having headers.
Correct.
Whatever links which are having IAMs will be updated, will be again 0 and 1s will be there in IAM headers.
Okay.
Whenever it, allocate, it become full, it will be 1. It will be, if it is, just allocated and not full, it will be 0. In that way, it will identify from the IAM headers.
Okay. So what will happen to the IAM pages, the pages allocated to the IAM?
Pages allocated
to the IAM. Suppose if I say,
object and
suppose if I say
object level IAM,
DBCC index fragmentation or DBCC check DB, so that will delete all the entries. Is suppose a GAM or if there is a break in the chain. Example, a linked list. I'm seeing IMAP as a linked list, so where it maintains link for between the IMAPs. And
it uses double linked list actually.
So having the link to IMAP chain, and if there is a data deletion from the object, and that entry has been modified, and there's a break in the chain between the IMAPs, how it will reorganize?
No, it will not break actually. I think I read it once, if I'm not wrong. There will be a mapping in between IAMs also. The information will be, whatever breaking all information will be there in the IAM headers. I did not remember the actual name. There is an actual name, some PFST free something. That is the name of the that bit actually. That bit will be having all information regarding whatever gets deleted all information will be stored in that bit actually. I'll get to that bit, that exact name.
I just want to understand how if like we have a defragmentation.
There is recording will be there. That will be recording in the bit mapping.
Okay.
only.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
I am really sorry. I did not remember that bit name because of these so many new names. The naming convention I did not remember, and definitely IAM. The question which I asked, even I posted the question. I got it now actually. The question which I posted, where is IAM information stores? IAM information stores in IAM headers. The question I posted, IAM headers will be there, and in that one bitmap will be there. The bitmap name starts with PR. The P. I did not remember the exact name of that bitmap actually. That bitmap stores everything about related to these IAMs. You understand it?
What I will do, I'll go to the documents or whatever things, the resource I have. Let's see if we come up with some fresh thoughts. I'll definitely come back to you and ask.
Yeah, please ask me, and by that time I'll also read the things and I'll also get some knowledge.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, any questions, guys? Ajay, any questions?
Yeah, actually, Pawan, if you can go through all the slides 1 to 11. Don't say anything, just go through, because I joined a bit late, so I just want to know what it has written in the slides, from 1, it will take just a couple of seconds. From top, we first also, yeah, okay, thank you. Second, thank you, yeah, third, yeah, it's okay. So why we need, yeah, fourth, we will, yeah, that's all, yeah. So I'll go through all your fifth,
Okay.
Yeah, 6, yeah, it's okay. Number 6 now.
Yeah. These types of pages actually.
Yeah.
I told you, right? This SGAM stores the bitmap information of these extents, and there's so many are there. Okay.
Yeah. 7th now. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, 8th. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you explain this one. Yeah, 9. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, 10. Yeah, that's also okay. Yeah.
11th one yet to come.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay. Before going to the index, this is the starting point of teaching you guys table scan. I need at least one session for this table scan, teaching this explain, because I feel it is going through more into the tuning part actually. But I don't know how other guys will take it, but maybe some you need to read this before going to the index scanning. Please go through this extent allocation and page allocation maps, and please ask me questions. If we are clear with this extent allocation maps, we'll go to next session. We'll go to the table scan. Okay, and before going to that, I'll give you a hint that in SQL Server there is no term called full table scan. There is no term called full table scan. We call it as table scan. Suppose I'll say it's a scan or seek. We call it as scan or seek. Scan means it can go through a heap or a index, which means full table scan in Oracle. What is a heap, guys? What is a heap?
No index, no cluster, no non-cluster.
Yes. Scan means in SQL Server full table scan. Seek means through index scan. There are two terms, scan and seek. Don't get confused with this. You need to learn two terms, scan and seek. No terms like index scanning and full table scanning in Oracle. Only scan and seek are there. So we have, anyway, we're going to talk about clustered and non-clustered indexes in full table scan also. Before that, I'll just give you a brief idea about clustered and non-clustered indexes. I'll tell you first in a layman words. Suppose if you take a book, Sorry. If you take a book, and what this book will be having in the first page? It will be having index with the page numbers.
Yeah.
Page numbers will be there. And if you go to the last page, you see some appendix there. What it will be having? This is having some term, some new term, nostrologic, something I used. Something I used the term, vocabulary word, something. It will tell you to go to some word I used. It will tell you to go to page number 52, some particular paragraph it will go to, and you will get the information about that particular word. Which means, instead of page numbers, this information is having a word and as well as a page number and some more little more information is having. Is it correct or not? Any book you take, in a layman words, I'm calling it as this page numbers index. I'm calling it as clustered index. This is a clustered index. Don't get confused with the index mechanism, clustered and non-clustered. This is clustered index. And this one is called non-clustered index. You can create only one clustered index in a table. And this will be having a key column with it. And we call it as the seek. In this seek we call it as key lookup. Going through key columns, we call it as key lookup. The clustered index, what will happen? Key lookup will happen. Through cluster key, what we gave, suppose 52 I gave as a clustered index. My boss asked me to give information about software engineering of my project. And my topic software engineering is there in the 51st page. And I want to see my information about the software engineering in a book, that particular page, and I'll go to a key lookup. What is that key lookup? Page number 52. So if I want to go to the key lookup, I'll go to key lookup and I'll see what information written in the software engineering. Suppose if I take same thing in non-clustered index. Suppose if I take in US, lot of states are there and cities are there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, up to some 20, I don't remember, I don't know how many states are there. Suppose if you take 25, 26 something. Okay, so all states information is there. I want to see some Minnesota or something information. Then what I'll do, I'll go to the predicates, information will be there in non-clustered index. Some Minnesota will be written in there. That page number will be there and paragraph number will be there. Using that, I'll go there. And there will be some levels. This is the root level I call. Through root level I come. Either index or non-clustered index. I'll first come to the root level. Root level is same. My first hit is from the root level. From root level, I come to index key. From index key, I have to go to the leaf level, which is actual data. This is having this is called intermediate level. Intermediate level is having keys, and this is having root, and this is leaf level. Ideally, it has to do scanning in leaf level than non-clustered index, which means non-clustered index will be having information very faster than clustered index. Why? Because here I said I need to go to first key and then go to here. Key will be having limited number of information, but whereas in non-clustered index, this will be having information of leaf level information. Some more extra information is there in non-clustered index than the key. No need to go to, suppose in the page, in the last page you have some paragraph name also. Suppose 52 and also paragraph name also. Here you are avoiding it, but in the key level you cannot have that extra, and I'm layman words I'm saying. In key level, in intermediate level, key level, you are not having this extra information. It has to read all through all the page. All the page in the sense, all the record. But here in this non-clustered index, no need to read everything. Some information is already stored in this level. You can directly point there. I just gave you, brief introduction before going to the full table scan. Any questions, please let me know, guys. It can use RID lookup also. Another lookup is there, row ID lookup also there. We call it as RID lookup. Key lookup, RID lookups are there in cluster. So you can create another index called covering index. To be frank, I never used this one. There is an index called covering index. You can create on top of two indexes. So I can create a covering index using cluster and non-cluster indexes. I can create a covering index using these two indexes. I never tried that one in fact, but theoretically I understand that on top of, you create on top of a covering index, it will using the one clustered and non-clustered. Any questions, guys? Satish, Ajay, Srini, any questions? Arun? So these are clustered and non-clustered indexes we have. As I told, non-clustered indexes have structure separate from the data rows. As I told in the intermediate level, as I told in the intermediate level, the separate structure will be there, which holds some data in it. A non-clustered index contains a non-clustered index key values, and each key value entry as having pointer to the data row that contains the key. Here also key will be there, but it's a non-clustered key which is having more data information than a clustered index key. You can create one clustered index per table. So in this today's topic, we talked about four. In this today's session, we talked about 4 important points about all about the index, pages, extents, object level, allocation mappings. Page level, we talked about headers, offsets, and free space and PFS, and different types of pages we talked about. And then extents, we talked about GAM and SGAM, and also uniform and mixed extents we talked. And also we've seen how bit mapping happens in zeros, using zeros and ones in GAM and SGAM. And then we talked about index allocation mappings and how this stores the table or any object stores uses index allocation mapping when it crosses the 4 GB. And then we talked about differential chain mapping and bulk log chain mapping. In that bulk log chain mapping, I talked about one more recovery model. I told we should not call it restore recovery, actual Oracle recovery. In SQL Server we call it restore. So recovery model in SQL Server means what is archive or no archive log mode. Apart from that, full simple and full, we have bulk log mode. So these three topics we covered, and next, as per our schedule, I need to show you today how to create a database. I'll show you that one also. I think it's not very big. It's not a big deal to create a database in SQL Server. It's very easy. And in yesterday or day before, in the last class, I told you where to store primary, data files, and which RAID level we need to use. Which RAID level we need to use for the logs, TRN logs, and which I told you, and also data files and the backup we need to store separately. All these things I talked in the last class, and now I'm trying to create a new database. How will you create a new database? Just after logging into the instance, just click on plus symbol. You see databases. Under databases, you see system databases. Don't do anything with system database. I talked about all these databases in earlier classes. MDB will be created every time you restart the instance. So model DB is a model template for each and every database. So I'm going to create a new database. I'm right clicking on a new database, and I'm creating a new database here. I'm giving database name as Pawan here, and it will automatically taking the logical name with the Pawan. And if you want to change this auto growth and max size, or if you want to change the path, and if you want to give file name, different file name than pawan.mdf, something you can give here. And as I shown you earlier how to create a primary file groups and all, you can do it. Sorry, secondary, next primary group, secondary, next file groups. Different file groups I have shown already. Let me make it full screen. Or else I can take it as script as. Instead of creating from GUI, I am taking it as script as. Let's see what this script is having. This is having all parameters of all options of the database also. And as I told earlier, it will be having some collation. What is collation? Collation is just like a character set in Oracle.
Actually, yeah, Pawan, is there any naming convention for data files in SQL Server? Because in Oracle, even if you give any name for Oracle data file, it will take it. Like it's not mandatory to give xyz.dbf for all the data files. Even if you give xyz, it will take it, or even if you give xyz.abc, it will take it.
No, actually, let me try here. Actually, whenever you create default, it will go to MDF, and first file it will be automatically allocating you MDF.
Okay.
And next file it will automatically giving you NDF. Let us try to create itself. I never tried that actually. That's a very good question. Let me try that now. Okay. Pawan.abc I am giving. I am leaving LDF intact like this. I am giving OK. It got created. It is taking.
Okay.
Let me see it appended any MDF to it or not. No, it is intact. Pavan.abc only.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can create, but I never ever see the text such extension actually. Yeah, it is a very good question. It's very curious to everybody is very curious to know. In fact, I never tried actually. In fact, that's a very good question. And now what I'm by default the owner is SA. While creating by default is SA. Okay. Owner of this database. And now what I'm going to do, let me see that really, it can read actually. Whenever database, I just want to test it, attach and detach, but it will definitely read that one. And here you can see recovery model. By going to the properties, I created a database, very simple to create, but after going to the properties, you need to change properties here. I go to properties. I want to put first thing what you need to do after creating data. First step is full, bulk logged or simple. That is first you need to do. By options you see full, bulk logged or simple. Full. Suppose I am keeping it as in full mode. By default is full, as model database in full. And whenever suppose you lost your LDF file. Suppose I'm telling you one exceptional situation. One situation I'm telling you. I lost my LDF file and I'm ready to lose the data, and when I restart, when I attach and detach it, it will automatically creates LDF file actually. Whenever this kind of things happen to the LDF file, you need to take a full backup. Otherwise, your RK log backup will get fail. Your transaction log backup will get fail. Why? Any reason, guys? Whenever some modification or something happens to the LDF file, not the shrinking, I'm talking about taking the backup. Suppose I lost the LDF file again, I automatically created LDF file. I need to take again full backup. The reason why, the chain will be broken there. The DCM will not be able to track the records. We talked about the DCM, right? The DCM tracks the information after backup of the database. DCM will not be able to track the information for our recovery purpose. So it is the first thing you need to do is, something happened whenever you do some operation with the, if the LDF files or which is broken or something happened to it, LDF file, you need to take first full backup. Then only it will allow you to take LDF file which is RK log backup. And this is how we set the recovery model. Full, bulk logged, just click on OK, that's it. And if you want to change the collation, you change here. Don't never ever touch this collation. You will be running into the issues. Same like changing your character set in Oracle. By default, it will be the SQL Latin 1 general will be the default collation. Don't never ever change this one. And this is a compatibility level. It will be useful at the time of migrations and upgrading. This compatible level, we will be seeing this changing the compatibility level in the time of upgrades. The advanced classes will be seeing it. And I'll check it out. These options actually, I need to take you one class on these options. This is the next coming up classes for changing the options on these databases. Actually, today I wanted to show you how to create a database. That's it. And if you want to see transaction log shipping, which DR is there. If you want to see my database is having DR or not, log shipping, you'll see here. Whenever you see a properties, go to the properties transaction log shipping. You can see information here. If it is enabled, it will be having information monitoring server, everything information will be there. If it is unchecked and like this, it is not having any DR information. And mirroring also same. If you have mirroring configured, information will be here. File group information, default is primary here. If you want to see what is the default file group, you can see it here, file groups. And files information, we are familiar with this now, I think. I'm sure you have seen this many times. And my request is, before our labs comes up, please install, SQL Server in your, VM if it is possible. We are checking the option of providing you lab. We will do it definitely. But before that, Ajay, I think Arun already installed it. And I gave you the link also. Even you can download VMware, 30 days trial VMware also. And you can download, from the SQL Server. It is very easy to install, as you have seen in the last class. Any questions regarding today's class, guys, please let me know. And I'm really sorry that, this week I'm not able to spend much time with you guys, because of my, my office work. I'm really sorry for that. Yesterday I could have taken some 2 hours, at least 2 hours class, but even I didn't have time to sleep yesterday. I'm really sorry for that. And please let me know if you have any questions further. I'm stopping recording here.
Yeah, Pawan, I have a suggestion, like now we done with the data file structure, now the log file, I was going to...
Yes. Yeah, no, this is a topic actually.
Okay.
LSN, I need to teach you. I have that in my mind, but today my time did not permit me to explain that one. That LSN numbers, virtual logs, and everything, I'll be teaching you.
Yeah,
I'm not going to leave that, Ajay, because on that day you asked me that question also. I still remember that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
I'll be going through that. Before that, please go through that once and post me questions that I will read, and I'll get some knowledge and I'll share that knowledge with you.
Hi, Pawan. This is Senthil.
Yes, Senthil, please.
Pawan, can you give me that the link for that the SQL server download?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.